Hello, welcome back to Rigger Knits. I'm Claire and today I thought I would give an update on a finished object, a couple of whips that I've got started, and I thought I would show a little bit of the sock project book. One of my finished objects and one of the whips is from the sock project book. So let's get into it. First thing I have here is a finished object. So these are actually, they're from the sock project book as well, which I didn't realise until right now. These are socks that I have knit for my dad. They were knit with Drops Fable. I'll either put on the video or put in the description the colourway. So Drops Fable, they do like I think it's a uni colour one, and then they do like a one with like, it's like just like self-striping. You can see like little different bits of like kind of speckles and stuff. So these were from Summerly Designs sock project book. It was the very first sock that is in the book, which is like a really basic one. I have the book here. And there's nothing wrong with a basic sock. I love a basic sock. They're really enjoyable to knit, and they're one of those kind of like mindless projects. Once you've knit a couple of them, you just know, especially if you've knit it in one size, you just know what's going to be coming up next. You know your stitch count off by heart. You know how many decreases you need to do and things like that. So the pattern I took this from was this one here. I'm not sure if this is going to be like inverted, but this is the basic sock number 1, the heel flap and gusset. So it does show options with like contrast colours, which I decided not to do for my project because I just wanted to knit. I had a lot of this yarn and I didn't really have anything that would go nicely with it, and I just thought, you know, it's a really nice yarn. It's very, oh excuse me, I've got something attached to it. It's a really nice yarn. Why not just knit it all in this yarn? So the cuff I went for was the 2x1 ribbing, just the normal heel, like the gusset and heel flap, I think it's called. Yes, that is what the pattern is called. Yeah, gusset and heel flap, which I really like. I feel like that heel, not that I've really knit any other heels, I might have knit like one different heel, but this one is, it just feels really strong because of your like slipping stitches on one row, not every stitch, like every other stitch you slip, and it just feels really nice and strong. And just normal like toe decreases where you just do like a knit 2 together and a slip slip knit depending on where you are, and then Kitchener stitch to join it up. So yeah, these are for my dad. I knit them in the size large, I think, and I am going to wrap these today and give them to my dad tomorrow. So I did block these. I don't actually have sock blockers. That's something that's on my like my want list, like my Christmas list or whatever. So obviously sock blockers, I think I would just have to get it in my size. So if I was to knit another large sock, I wouldn't be able to block it with the sock blocker that I have. So yeah, I don't know how that's going to work, but it just means socks that I knit for myself are going to be a lot, if I do block them, they're going to be a lot like neater and things. But these ones, all I did was I just washed them with like my wool wash, and I just left them to dry. I like straightened them out and stuff on my little blocking mat, which is just like a children's play mat, and I just made sure they were sitting straight, and I didn't pin it or anything. I just set it down, and like I turned it like over like once a day over a couple of days until they were fully dry, and I think they turned out really good. They look really nice and crisp. So yeah, these will be wrapped up and given to my dad tomorrow. So that was a whip from my last video. The other finished object that I have is another project from the Summerly book, and I struggled to say this last week. Let me find the pattern. I'll let you read it before I say it. Again, I don't know if this is going to be flipped. Scrimshaw socks. scrimshaw socks. I don't know why that's such a tongue twister, but here is the picture, and I included the picture from like the Ravelry for this pattern, which is the same picture that's in this book, because I didn't have them to hand, but I've got them to hand now. I have worn them once. I didn't block them. My boyfriend actually put them in the washing machine, which I was like, oh, because I didn't check the yarn, and then I realised it's Drops Fable. I've knit with Drops Fable before, and it's totally fine to machine wash as long as it's on a low temperature and you don't tumble dry it. So this is the Drops Fable, like the Uni Colour. So I did a white and a blue, which is the same as what's in the book. The only thing I didn't like about these socks that I'm not so keen on is the yarn choice. So I feel like the Drops Fable, when I've knit with it before, you know, with the pattern ones, the stitches look really nice. But this one, for some reason, the stitches look huge. When you do the colour work parts, so up here and down here, you do go up a needle size, and you knit the rest in a 2.25mm needle. So you go up a needle size for the colour work, and I don't know, it just like, I really can see every stitch, which I don't like. I wish I'd done it in like a thinner, just like a thinner yarn. So I may re-knit these once it actually gets to Christmas. It's currently the last day of August today. So yeah, if I want to do another Christmassy sock, I think I would knit this pattern again because it's really, really nice. But I would just choose like a thinner sock yarn. Sorry if the camera angle has changed, my legs were going dead there again. So the next thing I have to show is a whip. I started this, it was only really a few days ago, and I've actually knit quite a lot of it. I wanted to finish the socks off. I wouldn't allow myself to start the jumper. Spoiler alert, it's a jumper. I wouldn't allow myself to start it until I had finished these socks because I was on a time deadline for these. But yeah, robinia sweater. Am I holding it the right way up? I'm not. Robinia sweater. So this is the front yoke. I have finished the section for the front yoke, so you do knit it separately. You knit a back yoke. I'm not sure if you pick up some stitches up here and knit the back yoke like with this attached to it, or if you do it separately and seam it. I haven't really read that far in the pattern. But this is the front yoke, so it's gonna be, this is kind of folding down, it's gonna be like this, and then the back yoke will be attached, and then I have the cast on stitches for the underarm, and then you knit the rest of it in the round for the body. And not sure how you do the sleeves yet, I haven't read that either. But yeah, I think it's really, really nice. I really wasn't sure about my yarn choices because, and I don't think you can see it so much on camera, but I did go for 3 very different yarns held together for the main like dark colour on this. I went for, I usually, whenever I do knit a pattern, I usually do choose the recommended yarn, or if there's like 2 options, I'll choose one of them. I've only really strayed away from recommended yarns with socks, obviously, because you can knit with any sock yarn, and maybe one other jumper I've maybe strayed away from the recommended yarn, but I just think I just don't fully understand yarn weights and yardage or meterage or whatever, so I'd rather leave that to the people who do know, and I'll just knit in whatever they tell me to knit in. So yes, I'd said in the last video I did struggle to find yarns that were in stock on the websites that could ship to me, that work together, so I ended up kind of taking a bit of a risk. I think it gives it a really tweedy look. I think you can see it quite well there, just the different colours. So I'll show you the yarns that I've used. Also I'm knitting this at a size medium, which I think gives me a lot of positive ease. I think it was like over, I think it was maybe 25 centimetres of positive ease, which is a lot. But I could always just make it quite a big jumper and cropped or do whatever I want to do with it. So the white kind of contrast colour is Isager, I'm not sure if that's how you say it, Isager soft. It is the colour E0, which is just like the most white yarn they have. It actually looks nearly cream, but in the jumper it does just look white. So I think it was like 4 balls of this for the contrast colour. And then the 3 colours that I'm holding together for the like main colour is this Isager Tweed. I love yarn in hanks. I love winding the yarn. I like don't have a winder, I just put it between like 2 chairs, like put it on the backs of the chairs and like do it manually, but I just love winding yarn, so looking forward to winding this one. Yep, Isager Tweed in the colour Wine. So this is like a 70% wool, 30% mohair one. The white one, what is that? 56% alpaca, 44% organic cotton. So getting a bit of a mixture here. So yeah, this was the colour that I liked the most, and then I couldn't really find ones to complement it. So I've got this paired with this, which is Isager Tvinni, and it is in the colour 17S. Very like nearly pink, slightly purple, but it's very like vibrant. And this one is 100% pure new wool, whatever pure new wool is. So that is the other, those are the 2 kind of like thick yarns you hold together, and then you also hold it together with some mohair. So I went for Isager Silk Mohair. This is in the colour 69. I think they do have names as well, but it's not written on the label, so I'm not sure. And this one is 75% kid mohair and 25% silk. So the 3 of them held together, like even just holding them up, they are so different. So I was very worried how they would look knit together, but I think they turned out quite well. It is still this kind of purple is the main kind of colour coming through, and the other colours lighten it. But no, I think it's really nice actually. So I'm excited to finish this one, but I'm so impatient that I didn't want to start the back of this yet. I still have to, my needles are in it, and I need to get my needles back to knit the back. So I need to switch. I have like other just cables with like the little cable like protector thingies to stop your stitches slipping off. I have another cable. I might just try and thread that through, and then I'll be able to use this cable and these needles for the back yoke. But yeah, I'm so impatient that I've been thinking about, I'm going on holiday in like 5 days for 2 weeks, and I wanted to knit a couple of like pairs of socks, or at least 1 pair of socks. So I wanted to pick 2 patterns from the Summerlee sock project book, which is what I've done. So the 2 patterns I'm going to be knitting, or I have like these little things at the top of the book for like all the patterns I want to knit. The Seafarer socks, which she's knit in this really like neon kind of yellowy greeny colour. I am knitting them in a pink colour. Let me grab them. So this, I wanted to wait until I was in the airport before I cast these on, but I just started it today. This is the yarn that I'm using. It's really nice pinky colour. I think it'll be really nice, like you'll really be able to see the cables and stuff, and it's like got a twisted rib cuff going on, which looks really nice. I'm thinking I might just do twisted rib for like any other pair of socks that I cast on, because it's so nice looking on the cuff. So this yarn is from Inspiring Yarns, which is a yarn dyer here in Northern Ireland. I think I said in the last video about going to the like market that they were at, and I bought like 3 hanks of yarn, so this was one of them. Pretty big ball, so I feel like I'll be able to get maybe 2 pairs of socks out of it, or if I'm mixing like if I do like a contrast cuff, or I like just use a little bit of this with something else, I'll definitely be able to get more than one pair of socks out of it. So this is from Inspiring Yarns Rogue Batch, which I don't know if that's what that means. The colour is Caroline, and it's Merino smooth sock, which is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. I think I'm going to have to maybe hand wash these, but we'll see, we'll see. Oh, there's a little bit inside here. They've just got a little bio in here about what they are. But anyway, yes, so I've casted these on. I'm gonna try and get to the part where you're knitting the cables. So it is like all over a cable sock, apart from the bottom, which is just like, looks like stockinette maybe. Let me have a little look. Yeah, it's just stockinette, but there's like a few cables all over on the cuff and the top of the foot. I do like to knit my socks kind of like longer, like the leg of them longer than like this picture, so I think I will just do that, and hopefully the pattern's easy enough. I haven't read the pattern at all yet, but hopefully it's easy enough just to add, you know, a good few more rows, and it doesn't mess up the cables or anything. I'll maybe just have to keep note of what row of the cable like twist I'm on. So these ones, I've started them, hopefully we'll finish them on holiday. And then the other pair of socks that I wanted to cast on, these ones, my little note is covering what they're called, but I think it's camellia socks. Yep, camellia socks. They do look very similar to a pair of socks I've already knit, which they were in the last video. They were the embossed leaf socks, just with the lace. It kind of nearly does look like leaves. So I hope I don't get like bored of it. Yeah, we'll see, we'll see. But I'm going to knit those in another yarn from Inspiring Yarns. Whenever I was looking at the label for it, it's downstairs, I don't have it with me, I'll show you when I start the socks. But whenever I was looking at the label, it didn't say Rogue Batch, it just had the colour name and that it was Merino smooth sock as well. So the colour name was like Silky or something, I want to say, and it's like a very like green, it's not like a completely solid tone, there is a little bit of like lighter and darker bits in it, but it's a nice little green yarn, so hopefully I'll be able to start those on holiday as well. I do need to read the pattern for both of them to see everything that I need to bring. So with these ones I'm going to need a cable needle, which I found in my big box of knitting stuff today, so I do have that. I just need to see how many like stitch markers and things like that I need, and just make sure that the needle sizes are the same for the two different socks, which I'm pretty sure they will be. Yeah, that's all my updates on what I've been knitting, what I have finished knitting, and what I will be knitting. So obviously I did say I'm on holiday for 2 weeks. I don't think I'll be able to film a video, and I don't think I'll be doing too much knitting over the next couple of weeks, so it may be maybe 3-4 weeks before the next video comes out, but hopefully I've got a good few things to talk about, and I've got maybe some plans. I know it'll be probably the end of September. Oh my god, end of September coming into October before the next video. So yeah, hopefully lots of like winter jumper plans and different things. Maybe I'll start thinking about Christmas presents or whatever. But yeah, we'll see. One thing I forgot to say actually, so I'm going to Florida, going to be in Orlando, Davenport, Orlando. I've looked up a couple of yarn shops around there, but if anybody has any recommendations, because I would love to bring home like a little souvenir yarn with me. Obviously I love knitting socks, I have my book for knitting socks, but yeah, if anybody has any recommendations of like yarn shops, or if there's any like kind of markets or something where there's going to be yarn dyers, please let me know. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Mwah!